Alright, Section 8, Glossary of the Railroad and Tanker Car Terms. The Association of American Railroads is the AAR's Association of American Railroads, a trade association comprised with the North American Railroad. The Association of American Railroads, among the activities, issue the specification rules regarding the interchange of the railroad cars between various railroads. The Association of American Railroads requirement for the tank of the cars contained with the Association of American Railroads Manual of Standards and Recommended Practices, MSRP C3, Specification M1002. AR specification tank car. Tanker car built with an altered converted within accordance with the tank of the car specification association maker. Railroads the AN end of the railroad car opposite with the equipped with a handbrake. CBN. Ambient temperature, the temperature periodic pressure of the local environment. BN the end of the railway car on which the handbrake is attached from both ends of the railway car have a handbrake. The car is stenciled with AN and BN with the facing of the BN with the side of the railway car identified with the right side and left side respectively. Body bolsters, structural members of each end of the car body supporting the car on its truck assembly. Bottom outlet valve, the valve located in the bottom of the tank for unloading and loading. Bottom washout, a plug and flange opening in the bottom of the tank of the facilitates cleaning of the tank car that does not have the bottom outlet. Brake rigging. The assembly of the cylinders, lever, and rods under the rail car that provides the transmit and braking action to the wheels. Breather vent. The device having operating port of the permissible disc. The disc having the breather hold the slit. Breather vents are typically applied with the tanker cars transporting hydrogen peroxide to allow vapors created with the common dates for decompensation to vent from the tank. The burst pressure of the disc. The valve of the inlet static pressure that safety vent with the braking pin device function. The burst pressure tank. The internal pressure within the tank is theoretically burst for the tanker car to minimum the burst pressure. The function of the tank's inside diameter welding joint efficiency, minimum tensile strength of the plate material, and the minimum thickness of the plate after forming. Uh, CANUTEC, the acronym for Canadian Transportation Emergency Century. The CANUTEC is operated with the transported with the Dangerous Goods Director of the Transportation Canada and provides a national bilingual English and French advisory services, including an emergency response advice for the incidents involving dangerous call. It's call 613-996-6666 or 24 hours. Star 66 666. Cellular Canada 8. Call 613-992-4624 44 hours for non-emergency inquiries. Or the capacity or cap, KPY, volumetric capacity stenciled in gallons and liters on the tank of the car's tank. The capacity may also be shown in imperial gallons. Center sill, the center longitudinal structure member of the car underframe that forms the backbone of the underframe that transmit most of the buffing shock from one end of the car to the other, and also see stub sill tank car. Chemtrack, an acronym for the Chemical Transportation Emergency Center with the 24-hour emergency response provided with the assistance handling incidents involving the hazardous material dangerous goes chemical. Call 800-424-9300 in the U.S. Canada. Outside calls collect the 703-527-3887. Or a C-kit or capping kit assessed with the component tube of the cap of the cover that contains linkage for the fitting of the tank of the car. The C-kit are also specifically designed for the one of use the chlorine sulfuric dioxide tank. The tank's been built with altered after December 1st, 2003. Use of the transportation class 2 of the poison inhalation hazard toxic inhalation materials must have a manway cover the pressure plate designated accommodated with the capping kit. The requirement does not apply with the tank of the car's transportation carbon dioxide of the class .113 and a class AR204W. Cryogenic liquid tank in the cars, class or tank cars. A general strips in the tank of the cars, usually including several specifications, class .111 and class AR204. The word class is used in designating and embraces several specifications. Combination pressure relief device. A pressure relief device that is incorporated in non-reclosing the device braking pin, rupture disc assembly, conjunction with the outboard of the reclosing pressure relief valve. The commodity and landing of the product inside the tanker car, the coupler vertical restraint system, see double shelf coupler. Cryogenic liquid tanker car, vacuum insulated tanker car containing the container tanker that enclosed with an outer shell steel shank of the tank of the not equipped designed with a transportation refrigerated with the liquid and engaged with the boiling points of the colder than 130 degrees minus Fahrenheit at the atmospheric pressure, such as liquid hydrogen, oxygen, ethanol, nitrogen, argon. The cars are built with the specification contained in subparagraph F of the Part 179, Title 49 CFR of Chapter 3 AARMS Manual Standard of Recommendation Practices called Section C3 of the specification of the M1002. An acronym of the Department of Transportation, which is in the governmental department that regulates the transportation of hazardous material within the United States. or your DOT and TC specification tanker car. The U.S. Department of Transportation Canada specification in which the tanker car was built and altered and converted. Double shelf coupler, a coupler vertical restraint system of the rail car having the top of the bottom shelf of the design to prevent the vertical disalignment of the mating of the couplers in event of the excessive end-to-end impact of the double shelf couplers are fully compatible with all the other railway cars couplers and required for the DOT regulation, the DOT specification tanker cars and tanker car transportation, hazardous material, dangerous and goods. Educational line, a combination of the education valve and the education pipe. The education pipe, the pipe that runs from the education valve into the tank. The education valve is used to load and unload liquid petroleum product which is introduced and remove the vapor from the tanker car tank. Excessive flow valve. The device installed with the liquid vapor. The sample line with the gauging device arrived with the design to stop the outward flow for the product with the fitting of the removed during the transportation of the device being sheared off during the accident when not in operation. The device allows the flow of liquid and vapor in two directions, not confusing the valve with the check valve, which is the device that allows the flow of the liquid and vapor in only one direction. Expansion dome. The cylindrical metal enclosed and located on the top of the obsolete non-pressure tank of the car, intended for the function expansion area of the landing during the transportation. Do not confuse the expansion dome with the protective housing which is found with the pressure tank of the cars, some non-pressure tank cars. Fill hole. An opening with the main way cover the closed with a fill hole covered through the product may be loaded and unloaded, but typically found on the tanker cars and sulfuric hydrochloric acid services. Flange, a disc-shaped device that is part of the nozzle, the fitting valve, the pressure release device is used to create a bolted attachment of the tanker car. Also may be slotted in a solid disc, built blind flange, or have threaded hole for a plug or secondary valve bolted to the education valve to provide closure. A frangible disc, see rupture disc, gasket, the material inserted with the joint between the two meeting surfaces to prevent leakage from the joint through the joint. Gauging device, a device used to measure the level of the liquid vapor space from the tank of the tanker car tank, which may be affixed with a gauge of the bar of the outside scale on a T-bar attached to the top of the tank of non-pressurized tank cars, or a slip tube magnetic valve fixed level tank tail tube, or an electronic device. Handbrake, a device mounted on the rail cars of locomotives to provide means of applying brakes manually without air pressure, commonly type of the included vertical wheel, horizontal wheel, lever type, and so named because of the configuration and orientation of the operating of the handles. Head, one of the ellipsoid end of the tanker car tank. Head shield, the method of providing the tank of the head with a puncture shield resistant mounting metal shield on the end of the tank of the car to protect against puncture from the coupler in another rail car. Head shields may be separate attachments, may be incorporated into the tank's jacket. A heel, a common term used for the product of the residue remaining in the tank after it has been unloaded. Insulation material, typically fiberglass or foam enclosed within the metal jacket used to maintain the moderate temperature of the aid of unloading of the loading contained within a tanker car for cryogenic liquid. Tanker cars, in addition with a vacant insulation and a system with either perlite with alternating wrap with multiple layers, aluminum foil and the paper is used. Not all tanks are insulated. Do not confuse insulation with thermal protection. Your internal valve, the type of the bottom outlet valve located inside the tank of the car to prevent damage in the event of the accident. Jacket of multiple cover the minimal thickness of 11-inch gauge for the surrounding the tanker car is designed to protect the secure of the insulation thermal protection system of the tanker car. The jacket is not an outer car. The jacket is not an outer tank. Lightweight or LTWT. Empty weight of the tear of the weight of the car as on the train. Lightweight is essential in pounds or kilograms on every rail. Freight car is abbreviated at LTWT. Liquid education line, a pipe equipped with the valve cap of the blind flange closure to the extent of the bottom of the tank of the car from loading and unloading of the landing. Load limit, LDLMT. The max weight of the landing of the can be unloaded into the rail car. Loading limit is stenciled in pounds and kilograms on every railway freight car, abbreviated with the LDMT. LMT. Mainway, the general term of the designating a circular shape open located at the top of the tank of the car to allow the access to the tank interior maintenance, inspection, loading, and unloading. Depending on the tanker car class, the product could serve as the manway will be closed on with either hinge or bolted manway cover. The typically non-pressure tank or a semi-permanently bolted manway cover or pressure plate, typically with the pressure of the cryogenic liquid tanks. Nitrogen blanket or nitrogen pad. A nitrogen glass insert of the tanker car to provide with an inert atmosphere for the lighting of the manway react within the air in order to protect the lighting purity and to prevent the entry of the moisture. Non-pressurized tanker car. The tanker car with a tank that test pressure with 60 to 100 psi gallons with psi in the gallons, built with the specification contained in subpart D with the part 179, title 49 CFR part or chapter 3 American Railroad Manual Standard Recommendation Practice section C3 specification M1002. Non-pressure tanks are also referred to as general surfaces and low pressure tanks. Cars. Nozzle, circular oval hose shaped attached applied within the opening of the tank of the application of the manway cover, the pressure plate valve, the pressure relief device, and other fittings. Alright, is the vacant space left in the tank of the car after the filling, allowing the product of the expansion during the transportation that it will not reach the shelf full capacity maximum volume of the tank. The governmental regulations prescribe the minimum outage of the hazardous material dangerous go to the specified reference temperatures. In addition, with the minimum outage volume of the tank of the cars may be allowed in weight with excess of the gross weight of the rail weight. Rail alignment is determined by their truck capacity. Another term of the outage is ullage. Packaging is a general term denoting the various substances the device is used to prevent leakage in the fluids and passes through openings of the valve body and the valve stems that cannot be closed at ordinary contact with the parts in concern. Packing gland, the portion of the device used to contain the packing, the valve body, or other fitting of the preventing leakage. Positive poisonous to toxic inhalation hazard. Gas liquid or meets the definition of the term material poisonous inhalation defined in statute 171A. Title 49 CFR CTIH. Pressure plate on pressure tank pressure circular shaped steel plate closing the manway nozzle to which the valves are pressure relief devices and any other devices are mounted. Some of the non-pressure tanks can be equipped with the pressure plate assembly and loop with the hinge and bolted manway cover. Or your pressure relief valves, a fitting that opens with a predetermined setting to reduce the pressure within the tanker car resulting from the exposure to the abnormal condition. The pressure relief device may be in a reclosing spring loaded with the pressure relief valve, the regulating valve, non-reclosing frangible rupture disc vents, combination pressure relief device incorporating both frangible disc and braking pin, and a reclosing pressure relief valve. The pressure relief valve, the spring-loaded device actuated in the static pressure of the relief. The excessive pressure recloses the after normal conditions after a restored. Pressure relief valves have been replaced in the term of the safety relief valve. Pressure tanker car with a tank of test prescribed pressure of 100 to 500 psi USI built with the specifications contained in subpart C of the part 179 title 45. Protective housing. On the pressure on some of the non-pressure tanks, the heavier circular steel housing the surrounding with the fittings to protect them in the event of the accident. From the unauthorized access, the non-pressure tank cars may be equipped with light gauge steel protective housing referred to as the combination housing breadbox or mailbox. This is provided with a weather tampering protection. Do not confuse the expansion dome with is found on some of the obsolete non-pressure tanks with the protective housing. The protective housing for the cryogenic liquid tanks are boxes and cabinets on the side of the end of the tanker cars. Regulating and regulator valve. The reclosing and the spring-loaded pressure relief device applied to the tank of the car is transporting certain refrigerated liquids, e.g. carbon dioxide, argon, to maintain internal pressure below a certain point. The pressure exceeds a specific point. The valve will open and relieve the vapor. The result will the auto refrigeration lower the product temperature of the end pressure. Report the mark number, the alpha instance with the type 3 to 4 letters, including extending with an X form, non-railroad owned cars followed by the 1 to 6 digit numerals are on the side of the end of each end of the freight car with identifying the railroad, private car, and lines owner on the cars. Reporting the marks are assigned with the Association of American Railroads residue. The amount of the commodity remaining in the tank after it has been unloaded with the maximum extent practicable, also referred to as the heel. Alright, the rupture disc, an operating part of the safety vent, also located the frangible disc when used in conjunction with the spring load with reclosing the pressure relief valve. The device is called the combination pressure relief valve. Alright, a safety relief valve, pressure relief valve has been replaced with the term safety relief valve. Safety vent, the rupture disc vent device, the device consisting of the rupture disc holder, a non-reclosing pressure relief device, actuated by static pressure, designed as a function in the burst for the pressing contamination containing disc. Sample line, a pipe typically 1/4 inch in diameter, equipped with a control valve with the extent of near the bottom of the tank of the car for drawing a sample of the lading shell, the cylindrical section of the tanker car tank without heads. Do not confuse them with the jacket. See also tanker car and head. Service equipment and used in the filling of the sampling, emptying, the venting of the vacuum relief, pressure relief, heating if internal of the tank, and lighting the temperature measurement and measurement amount. Landings within the tank, commonly referred to as the valves and the fittings. The SETCO is a Mexican emergency transportation emergency system chemical industry serving the National Association Chemical Industry. Responds to Mexican Republic Um, Shipping paper, hazardous material, dangerous goods. Shipping order of the billing, landing of the manifest, other types of shipping documents serving the similar purpose of containing information required for the government regulations. Your skid protection device attached to the bottom of the tanker car, protected with the bottom of the valve, washout, or some referred to as the bottom discontinuities for the damage in the event of the derailment. All right, your specifications. The specification designed with the tank of the car class of 111A 104.2 WE2. The standard STC code or the STCC code. Abbreviation for Standard Transportation Commodity Code within 7 digits of the freight description coding system used for the North American Railroad Administration. For the hazardous material dangerous goods, the Standard Transmission Commodity Code is referred to as the hazmat code, begins with 49 or 48 for the hazardous waste. The hazmat code may be found on the shipping papers, may be used for the access computer-based emergency response information. The stencil, a term used to describe all the forms lettering on the cards, regardless of the actual method of application. Specific information is required for the mark for the exterior surface of the tank. The stub sills tank of the tank car designed with the draft sills at each end of the tank instead of the continuous center of the sill will utilize the tank car as part of the car structure. Also see center sills. Or your stuffing box, the portion of the top operated bottom of the outlet valve with assembly, which is the valve operating the rod pad for the exterior tank of the stuffing box, contains the packing that, when compressed with the packing, can add in nuts and forms in the seal around the rod to prevent the leakage to keep the rod from vibrating. The shaft and the box cover to prevent removed. Inverted is as you use the wrench to open and close the internal valve. Something siphon bowl with a small depression located in the longitudinal center of the tank bottom where the liquid educational line extends, thereby allowing the maximum amount of the product to be removed from the tank. Surge pressure and reduction valve. The device designed to reduce the internal surge of the pressure for the pressure relief device. The device are prominently used for the tanker cars equipped with a downward closing pressure relief valve. The device's safety vents are intended to reduce the pressure surge. Surges then can be used as ruptured disc to fail. Tanker car tank. A rail car has the tank of this body with transported with a hot liquid solid with liquefied gas contained the shell of the head of the together with the connection weld directly into the accordance with the AAR specification. Tank means the tanker car tank. The head of the tank is one of the end closures of the tanker cars may be pressure, non-pressure for that are often equipped with special equipment to enhance their use of the handling of specified commodities for the pressure for the class tank of the cars. The tank includes the man weight nozzle as well. The tanker car tank test pressure. The pressure of the PSI per the gallon is which the tanker car is to be hydrostatically tested at the time of the construction. Depending upon the specification, the tanker tank test pressure varies from 20% to 40% of the minimum pressure. The tank pressure is also known as the service pressure. TC or Transportation Canada. The government agency regulates the transportation of dangerous goods in Canada. Thermal protection, a material over the or applied with a certain tank of the car's limited to transfer the heat of the tank of the vent of the exposure to the pool of the torch fires and intended to reduce the likelihood of the tank failure under such conditions. The thermal protection is not the same as the insulation, which is intended to maintain or moderate landing temperature under the ambient conditions. Thermometer well, a small diameter pipe, usually 3/4 of an inch, filled with an antifreeze solution of the oil. Solution of oil that extends within the tank enclosure at the top of which removable cap. The temperature of the lining transfers the liquid into the pipe. The thermometer, the probe, lowered into the pipe to obtain the lining temperature. Texas insulation poison insulation hazard. A gas liquid that meets the definition of material poison insulation defined in Statute 171.8, Title 49 CFR CTIH. Or a train consistent. For the purpose of here, the document also referred to the train list wheel report that is subsequently listing the location east of the rail car on the train. The constant may also serve as the shipping paper for the rail car containing the hazardous material, dangerous goods, provided that contains all of the information required for the government regulation. Trucks, the assembly of the wheels, axle, roller bearings, springs, side bearings, side frames, bolster, and the support each of the end of the rail car enables it to move on the rails. Type of the tanker car, the forward. The tanker car is designated the approving agency AAR or Transportation Canada, which in preferred form of the designation vacuum relief valve, a spring-loaded valve mounted on the top of some of the non-pressure tank valves to resist to open, allow air into the tank. If an excessive vacuum is formed, they may cause the tank to collapse. The vacuum relief valve should not be depressed to determine if there was a pressure in the tank of doing it. Some of the dislodge the sealing of the component, causing the device to liquid vapor and liquid. Alright, vapor line, a pipe with the group with the valve of the cap of the blind fan closure with the extent of the top of the tank there with the vapor and introduced the remove the loading. During the loading and unloading, on non-pressure tank of this device is usually coupled with the airline that is used for the introduced compartments of air, vapor, or inert gas unloading of the car. Vapor space, the space in the tank of the valve of the liquid must be also referred to as the outage. For more definition of the terms used in the Northern American Railway industry, the following publications are available through Simons, Boredom's Books Incorporated, Dictionary of Railway Track Terms of the Christopher F. Scott Shell, Railway Age Comprehensive Railroad Dictionary of the Car Loading, Encyclopedia of the Carman's Dictionary of the Railroad Dictionary of the Car Locomotive Terms. This has been the field guide to the tanker cars of the Association of American Railroads. Thank you.